Alright, hey guys, I'm beyond frustrated. Okay, like I said in my last video, for those of you who don't know, I just moved up here from Florida to Georgia, and let me tell you, their school systems suck. They suck. They don't even have enough money to pay multiple staff members. They got, almost 6 staff members splitting on 13 responsibilities that in Florida you would have an actual staff member being paid for that specific task. It sucks. They have a black school and they have a school that's geared towards white people, and there's a whole lot of division here. I'm fighting with the Board of Education to do their job. It's a process to get you in the school that you belong in, blah blah blah. Okay, because they don't have the systems that I'm used to in Florida. They don't have the programs. They don't have shit, man. And because they don't have shit, it's really like frustrated. Like I have to take mental health days that I've never really had to take before. I'm taking mental health days until Monday because I can't do it. I'm not strong enough to deal with this day after day after day after day after day. And I honestly, I don't know how people do it. I have had it up to here with their school system. I'm really starting to regret ever leaving Florida. I really am. And if this doesn't go right, I might be turning my behind right back around and going home. So this is just to show you. This is just to tell you guys about my struggle. This is just to tell you guys something that needs to stick with you. Before you do something, do some research, think about it first, and understand what you're walking into before you walk into it. Because I guarantee you, once you're in it, you cannot get out. So when you think about, I'm going to do this just to prove a point or to show somebody something, you need to let your motherfucking pride go. Because I should have let my fucking pride go, and I wouldn't have been in this situation, because now I'm stuck in a situation where I won't be able to successfully graduate and get what I need to get because this state fucking sucks educationally. I'm like at a loss for words, honestly. And then on top of that, I started my day off terribly. Okay, so I get on the bus, and the bus driver and the attendant, they were having conversations when we were dropping kids off at another school. They do 3 schools in the morning. Okay, so we were dropping kids off at one of the schools, one of the high schools, and they have the nerve to be talking junk about the high schools as if they know what goes on those academic campuses, as if they know what's up. So they started talking about it and saying all this rude and disrespectful stuff about the school. Oh, these school systems suck, blah blah blah. Even though it's true, the fact that they're a bus driver and a bus attendant, they got no pot to piss in, because if they had done what they were supposed to do, they would have become something better than what they are. So the fact that they're talking down about the school system is really funny to me, because this is the same school system that you could have thrived in. If you wanted to, you could have thrived in this, and you could have been something. You could have become something, but you chose not to. You chose to go the easy route and become a bus driver and an attendant. Y'all don't got no pot to piss in, because look at what y'all are doing with your lives. You're not on the inside. You don't know what happens. And then on top of that, the school that I go to, when I was getting dropped off, they were telling me, oh, I heard they don't even have a gym class, as if gym is what gets you to graduate. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, what does that have to do about anything academic? Having a PE class, whether you have one or whether you don't, does not hinder anybody's graduation process. Oh, they don't even have electives. They don't have this. They don't have that. Oh, and I asked the lady. I asked the attendant. I said, do you have kids? And she said, no. I said, okay, well, don't get any. Because if you're saying all this about this school system and you live here in Liberty County, let me tell you something. These are the same schools that your kids are going to come up in, the ones you say suck. So if I were you, it's either you move and have kids or don't have kids at all if you plan on staying here, because these are the schools that they will be going to. Or they'll, not get an education and turn out just as bad as their mothers. Bus driver and bus attendant. Like, who the fuck do y'all think y'all are? Honestly. So, basically, they were just giving their broad opinion on what they feel the school system should be like. Okay, but if they didn't succeed when they were young in the school system, what makes you think that all of a sudden they're going to make this drastic change 20, 30 years later? If it was that way then, it's going to continue to be that way. And if it were any easier, or if it were any simpler or put together, guaranteed they probably still would have done nothing with their lives. Bus driver and bus attendant. Come on now. You're at the bottom of the barrel as far as professions are concerned. So people like that should be the last people saying anything about nothing. Because I've been in the school system long enough to know, if that is the way you walked into it, that is the way it is going to stay, because nobody is striving to change it. If months go by and a difference has not been made, that means that they're not looking to change it. And a lot of counties nowadays, they have the money to do everything they need to do to better these schools, but they choose not to. They choose not to because they don't want to spend that kind of money. Okay? They turned, first, the school that I go to, they turned an elementary school, a huge elementary school, as if an elementary school for yay high kids needs to be as big as this is. It looked like a football stadium, like it's on the lot of a football stadium. They could build a football stadium where that school is. There is so much space. What does elementary kids need all that for? That school shut down because it sucked. So they put another school in there, which is an alternative school. 2. They put a fence up and they separated the two. So it's an educational center for people that are mentally challenged and impaired, and then the other side is for people that are just behind and need to catch up on credits. So I'm glad that they're maximizing on their space, but that is the perfect example of them not utilizing their resources. Why could it have been one facility and y'all go build another one, or tear something down and refurbish it? Why isn't that possible? Because that would take thousands and thousands of dollars that this county clearly has but just doesn't want to spend it. Because down here in the South, it is the concrete jungle. Regardless of where you are, if you go as high as Tennessee, it is still considered concrete jungle. Because that's what it is. So county after county after county makes these countless excuses as to why they can't fix their systems. And it's bull. So here I am bending over backwards to speak to the superintendents, to speak to the principals, to try to figure out why they are doing these kids such an injustice. They are doing the kids an injustice. You cannot be an educational facility and do the kids this kind of justice. You're doing them wrong. They won't be able to get what they need because y'all don't want to put forth the effort to make sure that they have a peaceful education. So y'all just don't care about these students anymore? Then y'all might as well shut the schools down if that's the case. Because they're not getting what they need to get, because y'all don't want to come out of pocket and make sure that these kids get what they need. I'm at a facility where you stay in the room, because that one room all day long for 8 hours with obnoxious ass children, because they don't have the money to hire new teachers or hire teachers period, and put them in classrooms to make sure that we transition and get each individual subject for 55 minutes. They cannot do that because they don't want to. Not because they can't, because they don't want to. And then on top of that, they couldn't, even if they wanted to, or even if they were going to or planned on it, because that facility is shared with someone else. Someone else is on the other side of that piece of property and it cannot be used. So the other classrooms are where those new teachers could go, but now they can't because y'all occupied that space. You guys make the facility look dumpy. Yeah, the grass looks nice, but we not going there for the grass. But they sure as hell keep up with the appearance of the exterior of the nature, as if that's what we're there for. But the classrooms are garbage. The desks are broken. The wall has terrible paint. Like wood is chipping. You know, kids can go in there and get hurt. Why is this? Why the wires and cords hanging from the ceiling all out the ground and stuff? That's a fire marshal issue. But nobody bothers to go in there and fix those things because people could care less. And you wonder why there's so many dumb, illiterate children walking the earth. There's so many dumb and illiterate children walking the earth because they don't care enough to fix these educational facilities. They don't care enough to go the extra mile to make sure somebody gets an education. It feels like after our parents' generation, if your parents are in their 60s, 50s, or late 40s, it's like after their generation, people stopped caring. People stopped caring about what the next generation is going to be like. People just sit back and collect their check, like the bus attendants and the bus drivers. Like, your only job is to take us from A to B, and you can't even do that without complaining? And this is what the world has come to? And then on top of that, as for the attendant, she just sits back there and collects her check. He, she, whatever. She just sits back there and collects her check. So you really should have nothing to complain about. Your job is to sit on a bus and make sure the kids get on and off safely, basically, without an issue. But you have so much to complain about. Anybody that I know would gladly take that job, sit their ass on that bus, and take their check at the end of the week. Plain and simple. It's the easiest job ever. Garbage men have it worse than that. Male people have it worse than that. And you have the nerve to be complaining. Same thing with law enforcement nowadays. Shooting innocent people. And let me not even go there, because it mostly be my kind of people that they be shooting for no reason. So I don't know what this world is coming to and why things aren't straight across the board for all 50 states. Here in the every school system should be just about the same. Okay? And that I think that's why we're not on an equal playing field. And we never really were on an equal playing field. But you know that old saying, you never know what you have until it's gone. And I'm telling you right now, I thought the Florida system was difficult. Oh no. That they surpassed this system like nobody's business. Okay? Nobody should have to go to the board left and right to make sure that something gets done. Nobody should ever have to do that. The board should be the last resort. It should be the last place you go. The superintendent should be the last place you go. But if it's the first place you go because you're having issues that are not being attended to, properly, like this is your job and you can't even do your job in a timely fashion. You got people waiting 6, 4, 8 weeks for something that takes 2 seconds to register and retry and go in there for day one at a different facility. Like this is not rocket science. This is not something that we need to study for. This is not something that you go into a college class and you discuss. It's not. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 ABC. I don't understand why they acting like this is some Albert Einstein shit and they can't figure it out. Like this is some broad equation. And I am so sick and tired of these schools, these traditional high schools, and I'm pretty certain of it now that all the schools across the United States of America are just pushing these difficult kids out. That they're not difficult, they just don't want to be dealt with. Teachers just don't want to waste their time because they want it easy so they can sit back and basically do nothing and collect their check. That is what they want to go back to. So if a student is making that difficult for them, they just say, we're going to pass you on to the next person, and they're going to push you along, and that's how you'll get through. Realizing you're damaging the child. And for the old people, there's a lot of old educators that just should have stopped years ago. You're past your prime. You shouldn't be doing it. You've lost your passion. You're doing the other students in years to come an injustice if you don't have a passion for what you do. If you can't go into your work and be happy, then you don't need to be there. Then that is not the place for you to be. If you can't go in there, do your job, have a passion for it, be happy about what you do, go home, and come back and repeat that all over again the next day. If you cannot do that with wholeheartedly and caring about other people's future and education, then you need to go. You are past your prime. Period. Whether you're waiting for retirement at 65 or not, if you are not happy, happiness is the most important thing. I cannot stress that enough. If you are not happy, you need to go. Plain and simple. Okay, and I've seen this time and time again, where you walk into a classroom and the teacher just seems miserable because it's like another year with these kids. Well, nobody told you to stay. Nobody's asking you to stay. You could go. But the problem is, your training has expired. Yes, do teachers go through seminars and workshops and have to take tests to renew their license? Absolutely, yes they do. But that doesn't mean that in the classroom it shows. They could have barely squeezed by. If you don't want to do it, just say the word and move on. You know, you're doing everyone else a favor in later years. Nobody wants a teacher that doesn't want to be there. If you don't want to teach me, that's fine. Move your ass on. You don't got to be here. Plain and simple. Nobody's twisting your wrist to make sure that you get to where you need to be. Okay? Nobody's making you teach these kids. You choose to get up at 6 a.m. every day and come in and do it. Nobody's forcing you to do that. So the bottom line is, you need to be the professional. You need to be the adult in this situation. And I've noticed that these systems tend to just dumb themselves down. They cannot, function without somebody telling them how they should do it. Okay, and I've been that kind of person my entire life. I had the school that I used to previously attend. I had the principal asking me how she should run the school. It shouldn't be that way. Could I do it better than her? Yes. Any day I would take her job in a heartbeat. And I'm not even qualified. But I would surely, you don't need to be qualified to know how to get children to where they need to be educationally and get them in the right frame of mind to go out there in the world and be successful. You don't need a degree for that. You don't need somebody's approval to tell you that you can be great. You don't need that at all. Ever. And that's the problem. A lot of people are waiting on somebody else to tell them something, tell them that they're good enough, tell them that they're worthy. You should know your worth before anybody else. It's not up to your mama and daddy to tell you that you're worth something. You need to go out there and you need to find your way in the world and make sure you do a damn good job at whatever it is that you do, because that is what you will leave behind. That is what people will know you for. The things that you do good and the things that you do bad. And if you do real bad, people are definitely going to remember what you do bad. Because there is countless times, I tell you countless times, where somebody could be doing so many good things. But no, nobody ever acknowledges that. But the 1 minute somebody does something negative and it's a person that tends to do something overly dramatic or just drawn out, Everybody remembers that though. Nobody remembers whatever led up to the explosion or the bad behavior. Everybody only remembers the reaction. And that has got to stop. Sometimes people ask for it. Okay? When people get in my face telling me all types of stuff and I come back at you with some slick ass response, let me tell you something. You must have been asking for it, because if you wasn't asking for it, I guarantee you I wouldn't have gave it to you. So you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself real fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry, as well as in an orderly fashion before I put you in check. And I shouldn't have to go over and over and over and over this with grown ass people. Grown people that have a degree. Grown people that should know what they're doing. I shouldn't have to say anything. I should be able to walk into a classroom and be a student. I should be able to walk into any business and just be there. I shouldn't always have to feel like I need to take over because it's not being done correctly. Like, what is going on with the world? Look at this orange man in our chair. Whether you like that bigot or not, he's going to be our president. Okay, I personally don't like him, and I don't feel like a reality TV star should be our motherfucking president. But I can't do nothing about that. Okay, I can't do that. Not without help from the people. And the people are so hung up about, woe is me and in their own motherfucking lives that they can't see that he's about to run our country into the motherfucking ground. They can't see that. Okay, so if we go to war again at any point in time, the people that voted for him should be the first bitches drafted. So I'm not even gonna get into politics because I don't even have time for that. But what I do have time for is letting y'all know that we gotta be better. We gotta do better. If you knew better, you do better. And half of y'all don't know better. Young, old, fat, skinny, indifferent, it don't matter. Half of y'all don't know better. Y'all don't. Okay, and that's why we're in the situation that we're in, with people thinking that they can say and do whatever and there not be no consequence. People thinking they could show up to work late every single day and expect for that following week for them still to have a job. Especially my generation, the privileged as fuck. I don't know where y'all done get this from, that y'all don't have to work for something. Y'all go out and steal it from people before you actually go out and buy it with your own money. And especially people this color. I don't know, forgetting that old people march for your dumb ass to get us to where we are today, and you lowering ourselves to the foolishness of the world. We shouldn't buy into all this earthly bullshit. We really shouldn't. That's not what our salvation is with him. That's it. Plain and simple. He created it. He'll take it away. So everybody crying and bitching about shit that don't even fucking matter. At the end of the day, the least of our worries should be other people. And I'm sorry, but that's not the way things have gone. That's the way I feel it should be, but that's not the way things have gone. Everything is hindrance, or everything is dependent on someone else, someone or something else. You can never feel like you could be great because that person don't agree with it. Fuck that other person. They don't have to agree with it. Okay? You could go out and be great on your own. You don't need nan person's approval. It could be the president, it could be your mama, it could be RuPaul. I don't give a fuck. You don't need nobody's approval to do right, to do the right thing, to be good. A lot of people don't know what it takes to be good, to be a good person. Because everyone is a clone of someone else. Nobody is individual nowadays, and it really does kill me. It kills me. It burns me up that y'all are not in, like, where's y'all individuality? Because everybody's just doing what the next person is doing. I have a cousin that wants to get the latest thing because everyone else has it. Okay, and he claims, oh, I never had that life, so I want to live that life now. But you don't have the funds to be living that expensive life. If you want the finer things in life, you need to do it the proper way. You need to do it for you, and not for the approval of someone standing next to you. Oh, I like your shoes. You shouldn't care what that bitch likes. If you like them, that's all that matters. So this is and it really kills me, and this has been boiling up within me, a number of things. I know I'm all over the place right now, but it's just a number of things, and it's people bowing to someone else's will is probably the most important thing to me that I need to stress to y'all. You don't need that other person's approval. They're not going to be there for you. Okay, they're not. Everybody is doing what that person wants. Especially my generation, people in school right now. In 5 years, you won't even remember their name. You'll only remember them as the dumbass in the back of the room. Honestly. And normally, the people that are acting all out of character are the same ones that are behind in school, are the same ones not graduating on time or didn't graduate with their class. And believe me, I know what the motherfucker I'm talking about, because I am one of them people that thought it was so fun to make everyone else in the room laugh and have a great motherfucking time, as if I should be concerned about their happiness and their entertainment. That is not my job. Yes, I am an entertainer, and that's what I do for a living, but at the end of the day, the people in the classroom, that is not my job. I don't have a job when it comes to the classroom. The only thing I need to be focused on is what got my name on it, the pieces of paper that have my name on it. And if it don't have your name on it when it gets handed to you by the teacher, when I put my motherfucking name on it, that makes it my motherfucking business. And I turn it in, and I do what I need to do, and I get my motherfucking grade, and I leave for the day. That's it. That's all I'm supposed to do. That's my responsibility. I don't know about you, but I know when I walk up in any place, I go up in there for what I went there for, and I leave afterwards. You don't walk into Walmart to mingle because you heard your friends is there right now. Nobody goes to Walmart just to chill. Just because you see, oh, she in the Walmart on Snapchat. Oh, well, let me go to the Walmart right now. Let me catch her. Let me see if I can catch her. Nobody does that. Everybody does things for someone nowadays. That's what it is. Oh, I want them to like me, or I want their approval. I want to fit in. Gucci, my nigga. That's and I don't understand why it is that way, but we need to come from up out of that sometime soon. Like I can't remember the last time I done walked into Walmart and said, oh, there's Jessica. Let me go talk to Jessica. Hey, girl. No. I came in here for some motherfucking Oreos, bread, and milk. That's what I'm finna motherfucking go get, and I'm finna take my ass back home or to wherever the fuck I came from. Everybody needs to have a purpose. It's not about where you've been, it's where you're going, which brings me to my next point. Everybody all upset, and bent out of shape. Bent all out of shape about what, people, I don't know how to put this. Everybody is kind of like, they play the victim. That's it. That's what I was looking for. They play the victim. Everybody's like, oh, I've been through this and I've been through that. No. Okay, nobody gives a fuck. I'm telling you that right now. Okay, they may act like they care, but I am telling you, and I'm looking you dead in your motherfucking face, and you know who I'm talking to. You know who you are. Nobody cares. Oh, I was raped. I was this, I was that. I don't care. Nobody cares. And you shouldn't either. Let that shit go and become something. Okay? Because I've been the victim at times too. Okay? I'm a survivor of domestic violence. I done had my ass beat. So I understand blow by blow. But I don't go around crying about it. I'm a victim of almost everything you can motherfucking think of, but I don't go around crying about it because I'm worth more than what has happened to me. My past does not define me. It's not about where I was, it's where I'm trying to go, where I see myself at in 5 years. I don't understand for the life of me why people are the way they are nowadays. Don't have no future, don't have no motivation, and to be honest, I'm talking about some of my own motherfucking family members right now. Don't have no, you ain't going nowhere in life. No motherfucking where. And you got the nerve. You got the nerve. You got the nerve to think that somebody wanna chill with you, rock with you, hang with you, homie, my nigga, white brother, white sister. We don't. Those of us with our heads on straight know where we're going and know where we're trying to be. And we don't have time to fraternize with people that don't want better for themselves. I want better for the world, but I can't want it more than y'all. It's supposed to be a team effort. As a civilization, as a species of being human, we should be working together. But there's so many of us that want to knock the other person down, either for being successful or just because you don't like them, or because the color of their skin, sexual orientation, whatever, what have you. That is what this world has come to. And a lot of the people that I'm speaking about in this particular gist of a group of people are the people that are this motherfucking color. Plain and simple. We got to do better. That's the gist of what I'm saying. We've got to do better. Now I'm gonna go calm my ass down because it's been 32 motherfucking minutes. I'm gonna get my fat ass some food and I'm gonna calm the fuck down. And I'll talk to y'all later. Stay perfectly imperfect and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.